Hey everybody, today I just wanted to make this front-end mentor challenge, and I haven't prepped for it or anything, so I'm just gonna see what happens. If I get stuck, I might edit that part out, or I'll try to condense things a little bit, but for the most part it's just gonna be me building this from start to finish. So yeah, we'll just try to build it out and we'll see what happens. So I already have a directory here with just a couple things in it, so let's go open it up real quick. And these are just the things you download from Frontend Mentor. I have the premium membership, so I get the Figma file, which I will be using extensively. Open up Figma, drag this over, and I'm gonna make a directory for our code, and I'm gonna do a git init there, and I'll have the code on GitHub, so I'll link that in the description. So one thing I like to do when I'm first starting off a design is I like to circle the different elements and decide how my HTML is gonna be built. We're gonna do this in vanilla JavaScript or vanilla HTML. Let's take the desktop one. So yeah, you just go to Frontend Mentor and go to the Challenge Hub, and then you can download the Figma and just the download starter. I highly recommend getting the premium if you like Frontend Mentor, want to do more projects, because having the Figma is super great. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep all of this in a section. I was thinking about making this grid for this, so this big section here, make this a div. This is obviously an image. This is gonna be, I was thinking about it. I haven't planned this out yet, but I was just looked at the design a couple times. I think this is gonna be, I'm just gonna make this a div, and then the H1 is going to be this. It could be H1 or H2. We'll say H1 just because it is the only thing technically here, but the idea is I think it would be a component on a page, so it'd probably end up being an H2. Just to keep it semantic, because there would already be an H1 assuming. So that'll be a paragraph. This will be a div also, with some spans here to style that text. And then we're gonna have our button here. And then I think that's gonna be a SVG icon probably, and then that's just gonna be our text. Probably sitting inside of a div, because I like putting SVGs inside of things because they sometimes act kind of weird when you try to do flexbox or anything else on them. And text will just keep text. Okay. And then I think it would just be the grid that changes on the media query. So okay, cool. So let's build this out then. We're not gonna need JS for this. HTML5, sidebar is massive. I'll call this product preview card. And then while we're here, let's go ahead and actually take a look real quick at the style guide. These are our colors. That's another thing nice about Frontend Mentor is they kind of give you the styles like you would have a designer do. So let's grab our Google fonts real quick. And they all use Google fonts on Frontend Masters, which is also nice. So we need Monstrat 500 and 700. Fonts is 700. That's bold. I don't need that. Oh, actually I do need bold. Yeah. We'll grab this, throw it into our HTML, and then we'll also link our style.css. It's nice enough to do it automatically for us just because I called it style. So normally I start off with colors, but because I got the faces right here, let's see, wait, Francis is a serif font, Montserrat is sans serif. Okay, we got our fonts there. And I'm not gonna worry about the colors for now. Let's get our HTML built out. So we want a section. Inside the section, we're gonna have two divs, and that's gonna be where the image lives. And this is where our type's gonna live. In fact, let me get these images in here real quick. So there's our images. Take those, move them into code. So we have our desktop image, and then our mobile image. Is that our card SVG? Okay, cool. And the favicon. Image, src equals images. I will probably end up doing a source set for this at some point, but right now I'm just gonna put in the desktop one. We always need an alt tag for our images if they're display images. If they're decoratory, you don't need an alt. And actually, if you just leave an alt blank and it's decoratory, that's actually an older way of doing it as opposed to doing like aria display none or something like that. Just having an empty alt tag actually signifies to some web readers that it's just a decoratory image. Cool. There's our image. Now the fun part, div, the word perfume in it, and I'm doing it lowercase because we can make it uppercase in CSS. Copy. We'll make it an H2. It's like I was saying, it's assumed that there'd be a H1 on the page already. Okay, there's that. We got our div, our two spans in it. And see, it's nice once you just like plan it out. You're not sitting here like, oh, what should I make this? It's kind of a weird context switch you have to do where we already planned it out what it's gonna be. So maybe some people can do that. I don't like doing it like that though. I like to plan it out. 49, 99. And then we're gonna add in classes in a second. And then that's gonna be 169.99. Then we're gonna have our button. button SVG, icon cart SVG. Cool. Just to reset some of the CSS real quick before we even look at it, I'm just gonna do the basic stuff. And I set that on the body because then most fonts are inherited in CSS. So we set it here on the body. Now all we have to do is just tell it page that which fonts need to not be this sans serif font, which is only really these two elements, the price and then the title. All right, and let's start up live server. There's our stuff. Cool. All right, let's get some dimensions and classes going. I'm gonna just call this, we're gonna use BIM. I like using BIM when I'm just using vanilla JS or HTML and CSS. So this is gonna be our card. I don't even know if I need this right now, but I'm just gonna do it. Card hero container. Card hero image container. A little complicated title, but whatever. Card copy container. Category, I'm just gonna call that category. Or you could say like product description maybe. It might be better actually because this is already copy container, so all of this is technically copy. This is half of these I might not even need, but I'm just adding them in because I'm here right now doing it. I don't know if I'll need this one, this container one. I'll just leave that for in case I want to add a class there. I'm definitely gonna need something on this. This is gonna be card price. Can you guess what we're gonna call this one? That's right, if you guessed card button, you are right. First, let's get this laying out a little bit better. So how wide is this? This is 600 pixels by 450 pixels. Card, that is 600 divided by 16. I'm gonna do everything in rim, so 37.5 rim. That's not a 7. Rim margin. Actually, I'm not doing that because it's only one thing. I'm gonna make this a flex. Actually, I'm gonna make this a height 100 VH, so it goes all the way across the screen, and then I'll make it a flex container. Actually, I'm gonna try this. Let's go display. I see Kevin Powell do this sometimes, so maybe I'll start doing it. Shout out to Kevin Powell. Place, items, center. Normally I would just do a flex box and center it, but hey, look at that. That looks kind of cool. All right, and then let's get a fixed height on this thing just because, well, I mean, we're obviously gonna have to have a fixed height on it at some point. Try to get this. You know what? I'm just gonna do that for now. Do fixed height. No, I don't wanna do that. What's pushing this out? It's the image, really. So we'll do a display. Let's see if we can just get this going right now. Grid template, columns, 1FR, 1FR. So it's gonna split them in half. Okay, that's looking better. And then I think I need to put in a, let's just see what's happening. Is it just pushing it out? I think there needs to be a set height on this. So it can, for now, I'm just gonna do that. The height of 450. 450 divided by 16 is 28.125. 8.125. I'm gonna need to style this image. Card hero image. The object fit cover. I'm gonna say overflow hidden. Now why did that hide everything? I shouldn't have hidden that. But let's take a look here real quick. Let's see what's going on with our section. Our section's here. Right, so the image is just going all kinds of nuts. So let's make the image height 100% and width 100%. There we go. Okay, so do I need that anymore, really? I don't think I do. No, we do. Okay. Yeah, it's usually good to have the object fit cover so you don't end up with weird scaling on the image. So you see now it won't like squish it. Look at that. Do I need to set this height now? I don't think I do necessarily. No, I don't. Okay, cool. So usually I always see setting heights as a bit of a bad idea sometimes because then you end up, it's better to let the content dictate the height. Get our colors on here. Be real quick, just bothering me. Card category, text transform, uppercase. Yeah, now we're cooking. Actually, let's get our font set. So we have, this the same font, or what's the letter spacing on? Spacing 5 divided by 16 is 0.34. That looks better. And then the weight 500. That looks all right. Call it card title. We'll leave that for there. And then I'm gonna make this whole thing display flex, direction column, specify content space between. Cool. Padding going here. 32 there. In fact, let's see, what do we got here for the mobile one? We got 24. Then over here we got 32, I believe. So let's flip back over to the mobile design actually. I realized I started in the wrong order. I was using the font sizes and stuff for the desktop version as opposed to the mobile. So switch those around to the mobile one. Okay, so it looks like it's 32 on here also. So I think the font sizes don't change actually. I think it's just the spacing. Let's go back here, turn on the mobile thing for now, and then we will make this, make a media query. Screen and min width is 768. That's the tablet size. And then when that happens, we're gonna make card into a grid. But for now, the card's gonna be flex. And while we're here, why don't we just make this a source set and we'll see what the widths are. So that one's 600 by 900, 686 by 480, 600 width. And then the images. Now it's not, oh, okay. We'll do a picture tag instead of source set because they're actually different images. So what we can do is we'll add in a picture element and we'll add in a source. I gotta look up this. I just learned about these the other day. Source set, that's what those have. Okay, so these do have a source set. And then media, and specify the media. For the desktop is gonna be min with 768 pixels, is that what I said in the media query? I don't think I spelled media right either. And then we'll add in our other one. So that's the desktop, yeah. And I found out with picture elements, it has to be in descending order. You cannot have, if I had the mobile one first, it wouldn't work. It's weird because that's not really in any of the documentation. Even on MDN, it doesn't seem like it mentions that at all. I don't even know if you'd need necessarily the, I guess it's a source set, so we'll provide the widths even though it's the same thing. And source, let's use the desktop version. Media is min width 0 pixels because it's the default mobile one. Let's see if that worked. And then, oh, we gotta have our image in here. This is just the default. It acts as a fallback. And I believe it uses the alt tag also. Cool, there we go. So we're in mobile view. We switch to the desktop picture right when we switch to grid too, which is cool. And then let's just put in a width here, 343 for our mobile card. 343 divided by 16 is 21. So now it's nice and fixed in there. Let's get these colors switched up. I'm tired of the white background. So we'll go back to our style guide. You see, they give us all the colors here, which is nice. So we have our dark cyan, our cream, and then we have some of these neutral colors. And there's a way to do the colors to where you can have like easy theming with the CSS custom properties. I don't feel like doing that right now. We're in our root and let's get our colors going here. In fact, let's organize this real quick. Fonts, colors. Maybe I'll make that a second part of this video is introducing like the theming idea. But for right now, we're just gonna make the colors what they need to be. I'm just gonna name them what they are. Dark cyan, cream, and we got very dark blue, dark grayish blue, and white. White, let's just keep it white, yeah, white. Cell 0, 0. I'm gonna do dark blue and gray blue. The dark blue and gray blue. So now we can go on the body and actually make the background color. Probably organize these and make them alphabetical, but trying to make it quick here. Cream, card background is gonna be white. There we go. What are these colors here? So this is that, I believe it's that gunmetal. Ooh, fancy, ominous sounding. Gunmetal. What's the gunmetal? Is that our dark blue? 2114. So that's our dark blue. So it looks like our headings are dark blue. That's our copy here. That's the gray blue. What's this guy? That's the gray blue. What's this? That's the gray blue. So I'm gonna set the default color to the gray blue because we really only have one element that isn't the gray blue besides this green text in the button. And I guess there's white text there, but there's 3 elements that are the gray blue. So they stand to benefit the most from the inheritance. We don't have to type as much. Color, gray blue. Oh, wait, and do the var. All right. Now we can go down to our title. Actually, maybe I should have put the color. You know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put the color on the card just because the idea is that it's sort of a self-contained component. All right, and then we got a here image, here container, title. That's going to be our color. It's going to be dark blue. Now it's not adding the vars anymore. Why not? Fun. Let's go to our price. The color is going to be green. Or what do we call it? What is that? What's the cyan? Dark cyan. It's green. Dark cyan. Cool. Hard button. Background color. Dark cyan. Color's white. Oh, come on. And let's just restyle this real quick. Outline none. Border none. Cool. And then what's the font on this one? 700 Montserrat. Let's just style this button out real quick. What are we gonna have here in terms of the padding on the top? 15 pixels. 15 is really close to 16, so I'm just gonna go padding. Block is 1 rem. Border radius is 8. No, that should be 8 pixels. That should just stay 8 pixels. Because even if you change the font size, you want the curvature to be the same. Flex, and then a justify content center. And then what's the padding between these two things? 11.61 pixels, which is really close to 0.75 rem. So that's what I'm gonna do. Cool, that's looking good. Let's get the padding on our actual card though. It's not hitting the edge. I believe that was just 24, right? 24, side 24, it says 23, but it's 24. Up here is also 24. So we got a padding on all, oh wait, what was the bottom? Bottom 24, yep, we got padding on all 4 sides. The card, copy container, padding 1.5 rem. That looks nice. Oh, we got to get rid of our heading margin. That's pushing things around a little weird. So we have our heading margin, our paragraph margin. Well, that's collapsing on each other. But yeah, that's the problem with you don't really use a reset, which we're not, but we'll just add it to this up here. H1, H2, I'm not gonna use the rest, so I'm not gonna do the rest. Margin 0, we'll throw in the P tag 2. There we go. From here to there, that's 12. From here to there, that's 1 rem. All right, what's the best way to do this? I think I'm gonna add, these two are kind of related. Trying to think. I'm gonna add a padding top to the paragraph because the idea would be if the paragraph went somewhere else in the design, you'd want a little bit of padding top on it. I'll also add the padding top to the heading. So the perfumes will sit where it needs to go. Padding top on heading, padding top on that. I might add the padding bottom also on the paragraph, and then I'll add a margin bottom on the price. So I can't add padding to the button because that'll push the button around in weird ways. I'd have to add in a container. Oh, what's going on there? Oh, let's change that price. Yeah, that's what happened. So we have our card title. I'm gonna add a padding block start, 0.75 rem. Card product description. I'm gonna add a padding top of 1 rem. Why not padding top? I'm gonna stick to the logical properties here. Block start, padding 0.5 rem, and then the price. So that's already getting pushed down. So the price needs really a margin bottom. I'm gonna actually use margin here. I try to avoid it because it's like, I don't know, like I read somewhere that it's like, you know, designers don't really use margin, which is kind of a dumb reason, but we'll just use the margin on this one because I don't want to really expand this component that much. It makes sense to use padding on text and stuff because it's, you know, readable, whereas this is probably not going to get put anywhere else in the page if it was an actual page. So let's go with the margin bottom of that is 20 pixels. Oh, do I have I can style that price container too, right? Yeah, remember this guy. Look, the class did come in handy. Price container margin block end is, what would that be? 20 would be 1.25 rem. Hey, that's looking pretty good. Let's add some space in between these guys. 24. Well, why don't we just use our old friend, the Flexbox, our fancy new card price container class. Display flex gap is 1.5 rem. Cool, looking good. Now what's going on here? Span is, oh, I see. Okay. And then I think we can just do an align center on that. I'll fix it. Yep, cool. This is coming along. Add our border radius to our card here. It's the border radius on the card. It's not 0, that's for sure. So we got the nice curvature down here, but you'll notice the image is overflowing. We will have to put overflow hidden. Overflow. Cool. All right. I think actually that's pretty much it for the mobile one, at least. And what happens when we go full? Hey, look at that. A lot of it just took care of itself. Let's compare to the Figma over here. looking all right. So we can add the padding, make it 2 rems instead of 1.5 rem, and that was on the card copy container, I think, right? Yeah. And then we're gonna say padding. Let's double check the design real quick. So I know it's 32 on the sides, 32 up there. Is it 32 on the top? It is. Cool. Okay, so that'll be easy. Padding 2 rem. And is that it? I think that might be it. That looks a lot like the design. I think that looks exactly like the design, dare I say. Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna upload this to GitHub, and I hope you guys learned something. Check out the code if you get stuck. Let me know if you like this type of video in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.